What up, though? Happy 2025. Man, I made a few videos, man, and I haven't posted them because they go with different emotions, you dig? But, like, the right emotion came to my head in the right mind. So, this important message, man. 2025. This for the fellas, man. It's for the generals. It's for the men. You know, if anybody don't tell y'all this, I'm going to tell y'all this. I love y'all. I love you, my brother. Any race, any color. I love you, man. You did, and I'm here for you. I'm here for all y'all. We gotta be here for each other. I know what it's like to go through depression. I know what it's like to feel not good enough. I know what it's like to wonder what value you bring to the world. I know what it's like to feel like if you passed away or died that nobody wouldn't come to your funeral. I know what it's like to keep failing and keep messing up because you want to do so much for people or so much in your life, you desire so much and things just don't go your way. I know what it's like to have childhood trauma and, been hurt and lied to and lied on in different scenarios and different situations. I know what it's like. And that's one of the main things that's going on in the world right now in America is mental health issues and depression with men. And men not finding or understanding their value anymore, not knowing what their value is. Two things that's very important to a man is his money and, his intimate significant other or his family. It could be three things, but your woman and your family is your family or your kids or however way you swing. No judgment. And times have changed to where men are very, very devalued. And we haven't been able to adapt and keep up with that, along with things just not going the way we wanted to go. So I want to tell y'all, man, I'm here for y'all, man. And we got to be here for each other. That's why it's called General's Tables. When we could go in our back rooms, when we got to stand strong like a fucking light pole in front of everybody, and then we go in our back room, man to man, and talk to our partners, or our friends, or our homies, or counselors, or whoever we need to talk to, family members, brothers, and we vent about our issues and our mental problems. Because no more can we afford to hide our emotions in and feel afraid to express how you really feel and then feel like you being a bitch or being too emotional or judgmental, because we human beings too. And it goes all the way back to many, many years before we was even born or alive that leads up to why we are the way we are, as far as not expressing our true feelings or how we feel. Because when we do start expressing them or feeling them, we don't even know why we feel that way. We don't even know how to express our feelings. So what we do, guilty of it. Finding coping mechanisms, right? I remember popping pills, being addicted to X pills. Facts, coping mechanism. Thank God I was able to beat that. Blowing, smoking, couldn't stop smoking. Gave you a great feeling, coping mechanism. Drinking alcohol, not socially to have a good time, but just like, man, I'm trying to feel something different. Coping mechanism. Addictions, right? Addictions could be so many other things. One of my main addictions that I focused on beating was sexual addiction. And not porn. Porn was at one point, but I replaced porn addiction with sexual intimacy addiction for multiple partners consistently. And yeah, it's something to say I did. And some people might like it and some people might not like it or understand it, but it's all about coming back saying about finding coping mechanisms to deal with pain, trauma, and feelings and emotions inside that we have that we don't know how to process and communicate and talk about. So my advice to other men is communicate with other men. General's Table is about that. And I know this is my purpose. And I have to take actions because another problem we have is information overload. We have so much information at our hand, good and bad, until it stops us from taking actions. As soon as you get your mindset on doing something, something else pop up. There's something else pop up. You just don't know where to go. So I've been able to overcome a lot of these things. But not a day or a moment goes by that I don't feel like I lose myself for a second or two. Or even a week or two might go by. And that's okay. Process your emotions and accept your emotions. But after you accept them, cry that shit out, spit it out, and then you gotta learn how to deal with them and evaluate them and move forward. And that's what I want to help men do. So guess what, man? If you got emotions, man, and you going through life in depression, one of my best friends, man, talk to him every day, bro. And he had stuff going on with his life. And some stuff went on with his baby mama, all that other stuff. And I could just hear in his voice that he was gonna do something. You know, he lost his job, blah, blah, blah. Felt like he had no more values to bring to this world. And one day I called him. We talked every day. And that day we talked, I was like, man, let me hold your gun, bro. Let me hold your gun for you, bro. You know, I can hear in your voice you got a lot on your mind. And he told me I need it for something. And I talked to him the next morning or a few days later that morning it happened. He told me his grandma had got sick. And his grandma got sick. And he said he don't know how much of this he could take anymore. I get emotional, I think about it. And it been happened a few years ago, but it really hit me now because I understand depression in men, you know, along with what I've been through. And I talked to him that morning around 6 o'clock, and I got a call 1 o'clock saying he killed himself and his mom in the bathroom, man. Had a little girl and everything. And there's no man on earth who don't go through life gonna tell me that he haven't had suicidal thoughts. I went through a divorce and I had them. Big time. And I'm so fucking grateful I was able to overcome it. Because I was able to overcome that depression, that defeat, that worthlessness feeling. And I slowly start finding myself and finding the value that I do have in this life. And finding out if I'm in a situation where I don't bring value and I feel worthless in it, that's not the place in the situation for you. And not in life, but that scenario. But also, the world is evolving and finding ways to bring value in this world. Men in mankind days, way back, men to mankind days have naturally been the ones who provided for women, protected women, paid the bills, went out and got the food, gave it to the woman, and the woman cooked it. But then society and nature started to change till women begin to evolve and get their own independence to be able to do for themselves and not depend on men. And women have evolved and changed, and a lot of men haven't. And they're not able to keep up with not being able to find they're not able to keep up with the change. And depression kicks in because some men purpose, or they feel like it's their purpose, to provide for their family and take care of their family. And or a woman. And when a woman don't need you to do that for you no more, you can feel lost. Or you put the pressure on you to do so much for them or for your household. And if you lose a job, you feel worthless and useless, right? All the pressure of everything's on you. And if you lose the job, the whole house falls, right? So that's unnecessary pressure that come down from many, many generations that we have put on ourselves So now that women don't need us as much as they once did, we feel worthless and useless. And the only reason why women decide to do this for themselves, because they elevated themselves and evolved and got tired of men controlling them. Like, if you tell your lady to stay at home and don't work, and you pay all the bills. Think about it, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Dude to pay the bills and be gone the whole weekend. Wherever he laid his head was a home. So by him having her in a submissive state and not being able to improve herself and bring value, he had full control. But guess what that did? As generations went on, the women told their daughters, make sure you put yourself in a position to not need nobody. Make sure you put yourself in a position to not need nobody. And even daddies who had daughters taught their kids that. So they went and got education and stuff, because men are pretty much mess over women. Or the way the program in the world has set up is men either dead or in jail majority of the time, especially us. Right? Dead or in jail. So women had to boss up and turn their masculinity up. But they was able to adapt and change. And that's one of the biggest problems I'm seeing with men in this world. And the biggest problem I had when I went through my transition. The problem that my friend had in his transition, he couldn't adapt and see the change and see the brighter light. All he saw was darkness in that moment, and he took his life. So there's so much more I could say about it. But understand what's going on in the world, man. You have countless amount of value. You got to find ways to bring value in different ways. Because check this out. The world changing. See this technology shit? I've been talking about it, but I'm so much on it. And the reason why I'm on it so much, man, because I had moved in another part of Texas to where I was at first, got my degree in and everything else. It was very value, top pay, 6 figures, blah, blah, blah. Where I'm at here now, it's like not as valued out here. And the jobs I'm getting paid in, or jobs I have, I still make decent money, but I got to trade time for money. I don't like that. So that means I got to find a way to bring new value to be able to change that. And I don't necessarily, when I say education, I don't mean just going to college. Man, programs, certification, editing classes, like therapy classes, whatever it is, just find another way to bring value to a community or a job or the world some kind of way. And that's how you're able to get paid more money and also able to bring purpose. The reason why a lot of men don't feel like they have a purpose is because they're not finding ways to bring value. The whole way you was taught and taught on how to bring value of just paying the bills and all this other stuff, or being somebody who like could walk up to a woman and ask how much money she make and you could buy what she want. They only bring value for this long if you only leading with your wallet. Being a man and leading, first of all, is learning how to live by yourself and depend on yourself. Learning how to cook for yourself. Learning how to take care of your own clothes. Learning how to do all the things that an independent man need to know how to do as a leader of himself. Then when you get with a family, then you can lead a family and lead a woman, right? And you lead her by encouraging her to do better for herself. Build her up. That's the purpose of a man, is to bring value, build people up, provide, but not just financially, provide spiritually, mentally, comfortably. You know, comfort is part of money, but it ain't just about money. It's about, come here, let me hold you. Let me talk to you, right? So these are different ways I learned as a man that we have value to bring and purpose to bring. And I could go on and on and on. And even with me knowing this, I still have moments where I have to go through life to figure out what value do I have to bring. And then I get reminded. It's like I had a good, very, very good paying job. And things ended with it. But I looked at the spiritual realm of it of, I was put in that job to learn my real value, or be reminded of my real value and purpose in life. And that's to be a light worker. And that's to bring light in darkness. Because we living in a dark world with dark times right now. 2025, it's predicted to be a rough year. Because a lot of people are giving up. And a lot of people are fed up. And a lot of people are going to overlook the growth opportunities that's in front of them that they could take financially and educationally, because they so stuck on what the news is promoting and all the negativity that's being brought out. It's like, hand right here, behind my back, I'm doing all kind of stuff, right? An illusion. So there's so much I can say. I got so many more videos to post. But the main message to this story is, my generals, my men, I love you. I love y'all. You dig? And love yourself, man. Everything gonna be all right. Everything gonna be all right. The most important thing for growth is self-evaluation and self-accountability. And the reason how you have self-accountability is by being empathetic and working on empathy. Stop being selfish. My way or no way. Think about how your actions affect other people. And when I say that, if somebody did this to you, how would you feel? Right? In different situations. And there's also a time in your life when you need to be selfish. But being selfish don't mean doing wrong to people. And that's when empathy comes to it. Being selfish is saying, hey, I'm really feeling you. I'm digging you. I really like our vibe. But at the time and moment, I don't want to be in a committed relationship. Now, if you want to keep rocking with me, how we rocking, I'm cool with that. But that's up to you. But as far as committing, I'm on me right now. Or, hey, it's 3 o'clock a.m. in the morning. Somebody calling you to come help them pick up something. Or they need a ride. And you really sad. But they always calling you, ask you for help. And you saying, I can't help you. I'm sorry. Being selfish a little bit with your time. I think that's the main thing when I say about being selfish is being more selfish with your time. Not how you treat people. Not being mean and malicious. Being more selfish with your time and putting that time into you. Because once you develop on how to do things for yourself, then you really get to feel the essence of the value that people bring into your life that doesn't come with material things. So, generals, it's going to be all right. We in for a ride. But we all here today. And shout out to my generals and my leaders and my kings and my men that's out here dropping videos and dropping gems and touching the youth and touching older people and speaking knowledge to other people and waking up about what's really going on in the world and seeing how things that happened to our ancestors and before our ancestors has affected us now and how we still could begin to change. Shout out to y'all, man. Facts. Facts. Big facts. I love y'all, man. Everything gonna be all right, man. But buckle up. We in for a ride, fellas. But it's gonna be all right.